Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Once Upon a Game, episode 30 of this season. So I'm up in like the 60s now in terms of games. It's insane. Welcome. This is a special edition of Once Upon a Game where we're playing Dungeon World with a bunch of awesome nerd herds, right? Hi, everyone. For those who don't know, my name is Eric. I'm EricVulgaris on the internet. I run a lot of one-shot games, a lot of like indie, story gamey kind of one-shot stuff. Kind of like the fringe kind of RPGs, a lot of RPGs you probably never heard of, like Fiasco, and then everything to east of Fiasco is kind of what I end up doing a lot. But yeah, this is the show. I hope you guys enjoy your stay here and enjoy. Oh, thank you for the follow. So let's go around and meet our players today because we have a full house today. We have 5 players. This is gonna be a lot of fun. So let's start below me. Let's start with Evil Squeegee. Good morning. Putting you on the spot first. Hey,
I have been awake for 10 minutes.
Yes, literally 10 minutes. So
literally 10 minutes.
How's it going? For those who don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do? Existentially.
This is not twitch.tv/evilsqueegee. Despite the fact that I'm up at ridiculous in the morning on a Saturday.
I'm trying.
You're trying. You're getting there. You're getting there. And thumbs down. Thumbs down. The official seal of approval. All right. I am twitch.tv/evilsqueegee, where we do a whole lot of Dungeons and Dragons stuff. We do it at 9 in the morning EST every single day, with the exception of Saturdays, which are my day to sleep in. Where later today at 4 p.m. EST. I'll be kicking up our D&D campaign for Hellmouth with the guy below me. I know how to read the overlay. That's he's going to be one of my players. I'll be DMing. We do a lot of how to DM and how to prep and like a lot of exploration of how various games work and stuff like that. Yeah. And I run the nerd community, which you can find over at
nerd-community.com.
Yeah, that thing.
I was going to say, that's a really hard URL to follow.
I know, right? Like, I think today I'm going to be playing the Scatman.
So you're a shepherd of nerds?
I am a shepherd of nerds. Yes, I am. You might call me. Well, okay. So I've got my followers on Twitch right there, the Squeegee Scrubs, right? Because that's what you do with the Squeegee is you scrub clean, right? Yeah. So you have the Squeegee Scrubs, but I also run the nerd herd, and I suppose that makes me a scrubby looking nerd herder.
That's pretty good.
But we got a Discord that is actually really active. We do a lot of there's a tavern style role playing chat. There's a bunch of play by post games. Yeah. There's a couple of different we got a GM help channel. There's almost always 5 to 12 people just hanging out.
Yeah, it's a fun community. Yeah, I'm part of it. It's good.
It's true. You yourself are a part of the herd, aren't you?
I am. I've kowtowed the line and fell in. So thank you. I'm so excited to be here. So we're playing Dungeon World. It's a fantasy-based game. This might be a very broad question, but Evil Squeegee, what is sort of your favorite sort of fantasy stories or media or anything? Is your favorite have you ever had a favorite campaign? Your favorite movie or favorite book or something like that?
I gotta say my favorite genre is pretty much everything that fell into popular culture after Buffy. Urban fantasy. Modern fantasy stuff is totally my jam. But I'll do pretty much anything. I'm actually planning right now. I'm planning a game that is I'm planning a campaign that's going to be spanning not just multiple genres, but actually multiple games. We're going to have one campaign that's going to run through Deadlands, World of Darkness, 40K, Dungeons and Dragons, and other stuff. It's going to be pretty crazy.
But it's all one world?
Yeah, very, very Doctor Who inspired.
Oh, so it's like Rifts or something. You're going through time and space and
something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. That's cool. And so not only are you going through time, you're going through systems.
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, that's cool. So great. Below you is Carpe Diem, the Carpe Diem. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastically, although apparently my mic is buzzing. I am at the Carpe Diem. You can find me on Twitter at the Carpe Diem. I also run one-shots on Mr. Squeegee's channel on Wednesday mornings. Not every Wednesday, but a lot of them. And I run in a continuous world where all sorts of things happen. We've released an Elder God, and he's now got two new people, which is pretty sweet. And those games also kind of share part of the world with tavern style roleplay from our Discord server. And that's a blast, because that means that things that happen in the tavern roleplay affect things that happen in the one-shots, and things that happen in the one-shots affect the tavern roleplay. And
yeah, so it really is a continuous world. That's cool. Especially when... Oh, yeah, that's so good. I'm thinking of all the ramifications of having like an off-screen server and like doing things, and then you come back. Oh, man. Oh, wow, that's really interesting.
Yep. And you can find that on www.avalor.com. So there's a website with a whole bunch of stories. I've actually written some songs for it, which if you guys join us in the Discord server, I will sing them again. There's a really bawdy drinking song that we wrote, and I've got other people writing other verses for it. So we've got a whole bunch of... Oh, Squeegee, you didn't mention the shipping. You didn't mention the shipping at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, most of those ships that have occurred, we've got songs about the sexual encounters between the ships. That's been fun.
I have a question for you, Carpe. When you say when your one shots, when you release an Elder God, was that just like accidental? Incidental?
Well, okay, so the instigating thing was Sarah P. That's Me's Pixie character blew up at her boyfriend, my character, and didn't realize that a flute that he was holding was basically sealing all the memories of this Elder God away.
Oh.
And then while I was playing a one-shot, because I didn't realize this either, and I'm the DM, while I was playing in the one-shot, I was like, oh, hey, they're in this, elven or dwarven temple, and there's this Elder God that they used to worship, but all those memories got sealed away. And then they started playing with the statue of the Elder God, and I was like, oh, well, the session's not over, so I guess it'll wake up.
Well, shit, yeah. Welcome to being a GM, or you're just like, all right, Elder God time. We got time. You guys, and you guys did this, so let's look at the consequences.
Yep. Awesome. So now I've got two people turning from moderately good to moderately wanting to kill people. It's pretty fun. That's
alignment, wanting to kill people.
Yeah, and then I also run games on my channel, twitch.tv/thecarpediem.
Awesome.
And we kind of intersperse those in the inn.
Ooh, super cool. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you guys on here today. I'm really looking forward to what we come up with in our Dungeon World game today. So moving on with the last three guests here. So to my immediate right is Arthur. It's AP Gaming. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Well, I'm of course twitch.tv/AP Gaming Real, where I also run a number of tabletop RPGs. And Eric, I know that you were excited to hear about this tavern Discord idea, because we were talking about doing the exact same thing for Winter's Edge. And so I might have to drop by that Discord and maybe steal a few ideas. Because the first meeting of Winter's Edge is tonight.
Yes. It's our first research requirements gathering kind of lay of the land.
Yeah, that campaign prep.
Yeah, so it's super cool. Tell us a little bit about Winter's Edge for those who don't know, and
well,
maybe some
Winter's
other shows
Edge
that
is
you
going to
do
be
on
my.
AP Gaming.
I'm going to pretend that I didn't have another D&D 5e campaign that I've deleted all records of, and say that this is my first actual D&D 5e campaign. And yeah, it's going to be a kingdom building game where the players will be managing a kingdom on top of adventuring using Pathfinder's Kingmaker rules. It sounds like there's a pretty diverse set of players that also have a couple political, religious, and noble goals that they want to follow. So I'm interested to see what we come up with tonight.
Did you almost say ghouls? Was that a
I
slip of the
did.
tongue?
I did. Undead have a very special place in this campaign, apparently, since they're everywhere.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I also run a bunch of different campaigns, including an all-streamer game of Star Wars Edge of the Empire and a Pathfinder adventure path, and finally a Mistborn adventure game based on Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn novels. That has been blowing up pretty good.
Awesome. Super cool for you, man. That's so great.
It's also super early, and the rest of these players are motherfucking crazy. They have been hazing each other all morning since we got here.
Yeah, that's how you wake
That's
up,
not
man.
hazing. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is in fact that is the common social dance of the herdite.
Awesome. So, thank you. So, AP, if you would describe for us, what is your favorite like fantasy thing?
I've already described it. It's
Is it-
anything Brandon Sanderson related.
Yeah.
Also, anything Patrick Rothfuss related.
Okay, cool. Because we will be incorporating a lot of these elements, or at least I hope you bring forward a couple of these elements if you want to see them in our game today, which I will talk a little bit more about once we go through the rest of our casting crew. So moving on, we have Zeng. We have Zeng back. How are you doing, my friend? So happy to have you on the show. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's yet another stream to put my face to. I tend to be the token Brit, I guess, for Squeegee's streams and Carpe's as well to some extent. Although there's a few others on the Nerd Herd as well. I guess I mostly can be found hanging out on the Discord server for the Nerd Herd. I'm involved in the in-shots with Carpe. I'm also involved in sort of regularly appearing in the Wednesday one-shots on Squeegee's stream. I do some sort of map-making stuff with him as well on a show that we've got called Broke Map Mountain.
Oh my god.
Yep. So that's a thing. We're sort of dabbling with the module idea as well, weren't we? Like Broke Map Module or something?
Broke Map modules, yeah. Our very first
Awesome.
Broke Map module was like a 1950s commie scare run by Weresheep. Where we develop stuff with the audience. Like the chat comes in and pitches ideas and we make modules out of it. It's pretty fun.
Oh, cool.
What was the name of that particular module?
Oh, the name of that module was Will the Bomb Explode?
Bam.
It's a very serious module. I don't
I
know
can tell,
why
that's-
everyone's laughing at it.
Oh, that's a gritting Academy Award-winning drama right there.
It really is.
That's some high quality.
It was actually, I really can't actually wait to play in it. It actually, all joking aside, it sounds amazing. Just, bit tongue-in-cheek and stuff. Other than that, yeah, I guess that's kind of my thing. I mean, I hang out on the Minecraft server that we have over on the Nerd Herd, and I have recently DM'd my first game.
Welcome to the DM Club. I hope you're getting your
right?
card soon and all of these various guidebooks and newsletters about how to ruin players' days, right?
I feel like it was a
It should
card.
be in
It
the
felt
mail.
more like a branding of some kind,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you have the black spot.
Oh, it's more like a squeaky kind of rabbit head mark on my ass cheek, but yeah.
Oh,
and I've been teaching, and I've got my brand on his brain.
oh
Yeah,
man.
he did
Yeah,
really
so
well. He did
I've had
for
these
first time.
guys influencing me. I've only been role playing again since mid-January, so yeah, it's
Welcome.
still a very new thing for me, but I seem to be doing all right.
Fantastic. Cool. Tell me a little bit about like what maybe like kind of like fantasy stuff you're into.
I personally, I'm a big fan of David Gemmell's stuff, particularly like his Regante novels, and I'm also into a series of books called The Painted Man, which is all kind of demons and sorcery and things like that. And yeah, it's really, really good. If you've
So-
not read anything by Gemmell,
No.
then
No, I haven't.
he has like...
So this sounds very like swords and sorcery-esque. Would that be
Yeah,
would that be
totally.
far-fetched? Is that about
But
right?
it's kind of like... It's borderline Viking-y
Okay.
swords and sorcery, so yeah.
Okay,
It's
I can
badass.
get on board with that. Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
So yeah.
Isn't it like Conan the Viking? Is that what I just heard?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Almost.
getting. That's what I just heard.
Yeah. Conan the
So, like-
Viking
like
with like
Beowulf,
old gods and
like,
shit.
like Beowulf with old gods. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Let's
So-
let's do this. Let's.
Yeah. So the first series I read was the Regante novels, and yeah, that is the best introduction to his style of writing ever. It's great.
Awesome. Reganton? I'm gonna make a quick little note.
I'll sort you out with a link to stuff after. But yeah,
Okay.
it's all good.
Reganton. Okay. And last but certainly not least, Tech Yumi. How are you doing? Good morning. Good day. What's up?
I'm doing okay. Hi, I'm Tech Yumi. You can find me on Twitter at tech_Yumi. I'm also on the Nerdherd Discord at discord.me/nerdherd. I do mostly behind-the-scenes stuff for Evil Squeegee and other...
So you're saying you're a spy?
I'm a spy, yeah, you know.
Covert ops. Yeah.
You can find me under the covers quite often, because it is very comfortable under the covers.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So,
Seriously.
so Yumi, tell us and the audience a little bit about maybe like what sort of like fantasy stuff you're into. What kind of like books or movies you really enjoy, particularly in the genre. Maybe especially like adventure fantasy.
I'm more into high fantasy and that kind of shit. You know, elves and dwarfs and magic and shit like that.
Okay.
I'm not much of a reader, so I don't really read books.
But do you have like a favorite like movie or anything like that? Like is Lord of the Rings up there?
Lord of the Rings would be definitely like very much up there. I also very much enjoyed the first Hobbit movie. I still have to watch the last one.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm fairly basic now that I think about it.
Oh, don't say that. That's
I'm a basic fantasy bitch. I apologize.
That's fine because it's okay to have that kind of stuff. We're the story that we're going to make together today will be drawing from all of our influences, and it will be crazy and wacky, and hopefully we all will enjoy this. So, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about what Dungeon World is. So in case we're unfamiliar, so Dungeon World is a role-playing game that is very, very deep-rooted in the adventure fantasy genre. We will all be playing, I'm GM, but you as players will be playing as adventurers in a dangerous world, right? Maybe you'll be fighting for glory, maybe for profit, maybe for good, maybe for evil, maybe just out of the loyalty of your friends. We'll be deciding that here at the table, and the adventure will be emerging, and world will be emerging around the decisions that you make today. We're not going to be playing like the founding of our group today. We're not playing the origin story. We're going to be playing just one snippet of their adventures today, right? We're going to play like a little tiny cross section of their life together, and so we're going to be playing just so we kind of like start already knowing what we're going to be doing together. We're going to figure out the dynamics of our relationships as well today, but we're going to determine the specific details after we actually create our characters. Okay, so if I can just summarize what we're doing today is we're going to be using Dungeon World as a game, as a tool to tell a story that none of us could tell on our own. That's the goal today. Is that cool? That the story that we're going to create together is stronger. It's the Voltron of each individual stories we can come up with, right? Like that's the goal. Don't do me like that, AP. That's a great analogy. Don't do me like that. Don't do me.
One big robot.
Yeah, one giant robot.
That is an awesome analogy.
So that is the goal today. I have like one kind of rule though before we go like into any other rules. This is a rule that will trump all other rules as far as role playing games go. This is a meta rule. I use a thing called the X card or like the veil. If anybody is uncomfortable with any sort of content and material that comes up in the game, because we might know each other, we may not as much as a certain level. This is sort of like a social contract between us. If you're ever uncomfortable, either do like an X like this with your hands, or like a tiny X, or chat me, like whisper me X in whichever way possible. Let me, and that will signal that you are uncomfortable, or like some of the material in this is triggering and you want this out, right? And like magic, that shit is gone. We will work around how to like fix the game and everything like that. It's no big deal, because your safety is my priority, right? Like I don't want you to be uncomfortable. The worst experiences in gaming are the ones when you are uncomfortable. But this rule is only as good as we're willing to follow it. So, like, are we on board with that idea of, like, if you were extremely uncomfortable? This is basically the fire extinguisher in the room. Are we cool with having that in our toolbox?
I might need to jump streams here. I get thrown under the bus all the time. I was in with Squeegee. He killed my character, like just straight up sacrificed me.
Sure.
So
that did happen.
I'm thinking,
that was
Tried.
So
to sacrifice you.
This is like if you have a spider phobia and someone's like, I want spiders crawling out of someone's eyeballs. And you're like, no, that would actually be bad, right? Then you're like, I'm sorry, I gotta X out the spider eyeball thing. And you're like, okay, you do not have to justify why. Once again, like, this has never come up in my show, and I've done like 60 of them, but it is there, right? It is a tool to use, break glass in case of emergency, because otherwise this is a one-shot, and I want you guys to bring it. I want you to incorporate the drama and the ideas and stuff that you want to see in play, because we are making the story together, and I want to hear what you have to bring, right? Does that make sense? We cool?
So if you use 3 X's, that just means
that summons Vin Diesel. I wouldn't do
no,
that.
that's it.
Not recommended.
Your show's over. The judges have decided you're off.
We could summon Vin Diesel here?
If you do 3 X's, it's true. It happens. You don't do it. Don't even think.
Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen.
No.
Make this happen.
I mean, he is a D&D player, right?
The last time I had to flee the country. Don't, please. Please. So, cool. So, here's what we're gonna do. So the first thing we're gonna do to start play, we're all going to not describe our characters, right? Like, we're not gonna give us all of the details and nitty gritty about your character. I just want to know when you have selected a playbook, all right, and maybe a little bit about your race. And once we all have one of those selected, we can begin asking questions and building the map. Because when we build the map, we're actually going to be filling in what the world and what our characters do in it. Okay? Does that make sense? So all I'm looking for now is either like a possible name, but most importantly, a playbook and maybe the race you selected. Okay?
Playbook.
So a playbook is the name of your character sheet.
Okay.
So if you were having a character with a class of some kind, that would be what it is. And I think there's a list of classes and character sheets, right? Is there?
I don't think so.
Not
Really?
seeing one.
Nope. You might want to use the SRD.
Is there not a how do you add that sheet? Maybe I should have looked at the character sheets before I did this.
Yeah.
I selected the default Dungeon World character sheet. Are you telling me this was a trap?
It was a trap.
Okay, how do I
You just Akbar'd all over this.
AP, how do I fix this, AP?
I have the upload for the character sheet PDF, and I'll send it into the Zoom group chat. I got you, bro.
So does this mean we don't? So everyone has to have a copy of the character sheets, and then you're just going to transcribe that information into this? Is that the deal?
Okay, check that real quick, guys. It's going to have everything you need to play, all the moves and all the classes, and then you'll just
oh boy,
pick your options and throw them into the...
Okay, yep, so I apologize for that. I thought grabbing the Dungeon World character sheet would be a good idea in Roll20, but apparently it doesn't give you anything. Unlike the Monster Hearts one. Okay.
Oh yeah, the Monster Hearts one's really good.
Yeah, the Monster Hearts one's awesome.
Someone spent a really long amount of time working on that one.
She's actually a member of Adam Coble's Mad Squad. That's Mad Perot? I don't know how you say it, but she did it, and it's awesome. So shout outs to her. So yeah, okay. So thank you for sharing that with us, AP. Looking here, there are like 11 or so character sheets, starting with like the Bard. They're very like quintessential classic style characters, right? Like they're like the archetypal type of character, but you won't necessarily be like that. So let me know when you guys have a chance to look that over.
I have the concept. I have no idea what the rules for it'll be, but I know what it is.
That's totally fine.
Okay, go with it. I was going to jump in, but if you're there, man, you go.
Yeah.
What are you concepting?
I'm concepting Chip, Chip is a small man. He's a heralding to the kind of whimsical. If you've played any old World of Darkness, like changeling styled, a little loopy, a little too playful, Fae theme. And he's a fairly typical druid type character, just with a very Celtic fairy thematic.
What was his name?
Chip.
Cool. I'm just put Chip in the overlay so I know who
He's the type of character that would love to trip you just so you can see the world from a new perspective.
I think we might get along pretty well there, Chip.
Cool. So is Chip, what kind of class and stuff are you considering for him and race?
So there's a specific list of classes to choose from here, or
correct?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
If you scroll down, there's a playbook called the Druid.
Yep. I'm scrolling down.
Should be page 7.
Yep.
Page 7, you say?
Indeed.
This is the ranger. I think I've gone too far. Are they alphabetical? Yes, it looks like they are. These are the special moves, the basic moves.
Yeah, I think it's after Cleric.
There's the bard.
Yeah, it's right after Cleric.
Okay, yep, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I found him.
Excellent. Cool. So you're gonna be playing a druid. Okay, so that means you're gonna be the first person who's gonna edit stuff on the map. Okay. So, what I want to ask Chip, right? I want to say, Chip, what is your homeland, and how is it beautiful?
My homeland lies through the fairy rings of the first and final forest. Upon performing the right dance and the right song for the right gods, you can find yourself in a world where the colors are just so vibrant and the tastes are so rich and the songs are so enlightening that time becomes a thing of the past, and the future is just an exciting thing yet to be discovered.
So it's a verdant land of majesty, color, and what else? What magic?
Yes.
Yeah, magic. The first and final forest. Awesome. Good to know. Cool. All right. Let's start. So that's a good launching point. So going from there, who wants to put forward their character concept and stuff, and then I'll ask some questions about the world and where you are from there. Okay.
Oh, I want to play Bjorn, the Dwarven Cleric.
Oh, okay, AP. So,
I feel like Bjorn is definitely an evil cleric.
okay.
He likes to hurt people, which is great because he follows the deity Kazan the Gorebeard, who is the dwarven god of like slaughter and victory through combat.
You mean Kazam, in other words?
No, Kazan, Kazan. It's a Russian.
Oh, okay. It's not Kazam.
It's not Kazam. No,
Okay.
We're not bringing Shaquille O'Neal back into the game, brother.
All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah, we've already got Vin Diesel.
And I feel like Bjorn definitely gets along with Chip because he's all like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I want to do something in Russian." Like, "Oh yes, they keep calling us dwarves, but that is not what we call ourselves. It is human term for the mountain folk. Halfling, half of what? They do not call themselves that. It's human term. Humans so racist."
Oh, so it sounds like is this just you, or is this like a dwarven culture thing in general, or are they kind of
It's a dwarven culture thing in general,
Awesome.
but it's definitely Bjorn takes it up to 11.
Okay.
He thinks humans are super racist and likes to spend a lot of time kicking their asses.
Okay. So tell me something for Bjorn. I need a location on the map from you. I want to know why do pilgrims of Kazan why do they come to this location? This
It's definitely an icy, like Skyrim. There's a single mountain in the middle of a frozen plain, and they have to prove themselves by traveling across the plain and like slaughtering all of the monsters that are in their path to get to this death metal mountain that's basically Thunderdome.
Ooh,
You had me at Death Metal Mountain.
That mountain. What is the name of this land?
Wow, that's a
What do
great...
the dwarves call it?
Well, I mean, obviously the dwarves call it something 16 syllables long and incredibly pretentious, but I think most people just call it the Frozen North.
Okay. So it's a single mountain with a frozen plain around it with a just Skyrim-like Death Mountain. Actually, I'm just gonna put Skyrim-like Death Mountain. That's pretty good. That's pretty evocative.
You could say it's a lonely mountain.
Lonely Death Mountain. Okay.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So I assume the Frozen North then would be north of the first and final forest in some regard.
I mean, you'd think that, right? But I feel like it might actually be on a southern continent, and it's just the north side of the southern continent.
That's fine. So what I'm doing right now is I'm positioning our text and our locations in sort of like an impressionistic way. So there is space to fill in between the first and final forest. It doesn't mean that they jut up against each other, right? So I want to know. So why is this place so special to Kazan? What makes the Lonely Death Mountain so religious?
Oh, it's very important to Kazan. It is where he find his half-brother, cast him from sky, impale him on Death Mountain spike, rip heart out, and then sacrifice to great dragon overgod of the world. It is how he got power to go from demigod to regular god. It's very important. Founding part of
you were betrayed by your brother.
No, betrayed by brother. No, I mean,
you betrayed.
In some stories, they say that betrayal happened, but really, when you think about it, Kazan was very offensive in this fight. Definitely threw first and last punch.
And that's why...
Really, it was all just one punch when you think about it. One punch brought brother down on Giant Spike.
Okay.
Lonely Death Mountain is where his brother bleed on land.
And
freeze it with frost-cold blood.
And that means Kazan's brother was eaten by the Dragon Overgod?
Well, heart was eaten. Kazan's body is where monsters come from. You seep into soil of land, evil monsters spring out.
Okay. Okay, cool. So this is a place of monsters and wickedness, and you go there to prove yourself.
Yes. You must fight through glorious combat to prove victory. One day you'll be strong enough to kill your brother with one punch.
What is the wickedest monster in the Frozen North? What is its name?
It is called Grendel.
Grendel. And
what
is a rumor? What is?
I was like,
I was waiting for Grendel's description.
Oh, they say Grendel has, 2 giant arms and 2 mighty thews, but also has wicked sharp tail with scorpion stinger. And they say he shoots bolts of lightning from his eyes and balls of fire from ours. Basically, he's impossible to defeat.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Awesome. Okay, I got some ideas already. So let's keep this train moving. Who else do we have? Anybody else ready to step forward? We're all going to be doing this. All right, Zhang, you're ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
I will be looking to play Rupert Longfellow. He's a wee halfling. He is from the land of Sunshire.
Ooh, so describe for us Sunshire. What makes Sunshire so beautiful?
The sun's always shining. It's good foreign land, and it's just simple folk working their trade, and there's not much fancy about Sunshire. It is a simple land of rolling hills, large fields, sort of a very bright and happy place, almost in dark contrast to a certain place that we've just found out about.
Yeah. So,
almost a polar opposite. Whatnot.
So I have a question for you. Yeah. So what playbook did you select for Rupert?
He would be a thief.
He's a thief. So I want to know, Rupert, do you currently inhabit Sunshire? Is Sunshire like your stomping grounds, or do you have another place that you go to? It sounds like there's not that good stealing here in Sunshire, right?
There weren't much. No. He went wandering.
Yeah. Where'd you end up?
Wherever the money was.
Okay, so describe. No, tell us where did he land? Where did he go? It sounds like he probably went to a city, did he not?
Yeah. I was just thinking a city, a large city, somewhere he could play his trade. Somewhere where there is lots of people to befriend, and by befriend he means acquire gold. He will be finding himself in maybe the capital of Sunshire.
Oh.
Because you have the outlying farmlands, and the capital could be Sun City.
Awesome.
It's a land of opportunity.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. So Sun City. It's the capital of Sunshire. Is it run by like a king? Is it like a group? How do they view thieves? Is there like
it's actually run by a queen.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have the traditional man in charge. It's
yeah.
What's
the queen's name?
Okay, Deirdre. Queen Deirdre. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, so more Gaelic stuff.
Oh, why not?
Okay, so there's Sun City,
which
clearly borders Sunshine in some way.
Yeah. Out in sort of the greater countryside at large, there are stone circles that the farmers kind of are a bit annoyed by. However, they are supposed to be druidical in origin. So they kind of leave them where they are for good omen, even if they are a bit disgruntled by them.
So I'm going to put druid circles around. Cool. So this sounds like it runs maybe kind of close to the first and final forest? Oh, I can't spell forest. Okay.
Sure, I would imagine the forest may well border Sunshire.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Awesome. Okay, and thank you. So let's continue this train on. Either Carpe Diem or Yumi. Who is ready to put forward?
I'm a bard, so I'm going to wait until all the locations are made, and then I'm going to make one and travel to all of them.
Okay.
I can go next, then. I don't mind.
Sure. All right.
I have opted to play a character that I haven't played in... When was the last time I played her? Probably 2013, so 3 or so years. Her name is Acel. She is a elven cleric. Of the sun. She worships the sun. As soon as I find a name that I like to call where she lives, what's this one?
So you're an elf.
This is a good name.
Okay.
Sorry?
So you're an elf.
Yes.
Awesome. What do elves look like in this world?
They're very pretty. They have very pale skin and long, shiny hair that is much shinier and not nearly as frazzly as mine.
So very thin, very graceful.
Mm-hmm. Almost anorexic looking, really.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Very, very thin.
Yeah.
Almost unnatural. Okay.
Almost.
Sure.
Just almost.
So where does Asa hail from? Does Asa hail from elven lands, or did she come from somewhere else, or?
Acel is oh Jesus Christ headphones. Acel is gonna come from a nice little elven city called Feynora.
Thenora?
Yeah, Feynora.
Oh, Thenora.
Feynora. Fainora. It's a very nice shiny city with elf things. Kind of think I'm gonna totally not rip off AP over here, but kind of think high elves from the Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
Very very that kind of style.
Yeah. Okay.
Please feel free to rip anything you need.
Yeah.
Off of
So I'm a firm believer of cliche and ripping things. Just entirely whole cloth, whatever you need. If that's what you're interested in, if that's what you're feeling, absolutely. Because bring it, definitely. That's totally fine. Awesome, great. So Thenora. Oh, so where does Thenora rest? Does Thenora are elves like what's the word I'm thinking of? Are they like exclusionary? No,
they're a little exclusionary. Yeah, I mean, they don't really like to associate with the lesser races.
Yeah. Okay. So do they? I guess then if they don't associate, it's because they don't want to associate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because I mean, you could talk to like the humans, but the humans are kind of dumb, and the dwarves. I mean, dwarves are okay, they're good for making weapons and stuff. But they kind of. Someone needs to tell a dwarf to take a fucking shower once in a while.
I guess what do the elves do to make Thenora so like exclusionary? Not in terms of like culture, but like maybe is Thenora hard to get to? Like where does it rest? Is it like on a mountaintop? Is it in a forest? Like is it like hard to get to geographically?
It's not
Is it protected magically? Like what makes it so hard to find?
It's not all that hard to find or hard to get to. It's just a nice little city on the top of the mountain.
So what stops humans from showing up?
The real thing that stops humans and dwarves and halflings and all that other lesser race garbage from showing up is the fact that Fëanor posts guards at every entrance and exit, and you have to show like official documentation saying like why you're there and how long you're going to be there. It's basically like they're security guards. They're kind of like the NSA, please. Where it's like they frisk you down. They'll run you with their magical
detection spells.
Detection spells and shit like that.
Cool. So does Thenora then does Thenora have a relationship with the first and final forest, or like where? I guess I still don't understand exactly where the setting for Thenora is. So like you said, is it in a woods? Like is it in a wooded area?
It could be in the woods, yeah.
Okay. Do you think it would be close to the first and final forest, or would it be more remote? Would it be closer to like maybe like south? Like how close? Like do you have any connection to Sun City at all? In terms of like proximity, or is it deliberately far away from it?
Sun City might be kind of near it, but if it is, it's because Sun City wants to be near Fëanor.
Well, yeah, okay, so yeah, it definitely sounds like the Sun City and Fëanor are kind of like not at odds with one another, but clearly separated by the first and final forest in a way, right? That you deliberately don't. Come to terms with. Okay, so they might be close, but yeah, the first and final forest will go around between them. Cool. So the lands of Fëanor are heavily patrolled by elven guards, requiring specific documentation and writs. How would someone get the documentation required?
Fëanor does their best to have little embassies in different major cities. Fëanor probably has an embassy in Sun City, actually.
Oh, okay. So you have to go to an embassy.
Yeah, you got to go to the embassy, and you got to like ask them really nicely for the papers. And if they like you, they'll let you fill out the papers. Like you got to really be polite about it, though.
Oh, okay.
And you have to really be polite. You can't just be bribing them.
Yeah, no, like most Fëanorian citizens or employees, whatever, wouldn't ever think of accepting bribes, especially from like one of the lesser races.
Sure. Oh, yeah. And so, what god does Asa worship?
Asa worships the sun itself, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, the sun itself. It is called the sun. It's that bright. That big bright yellow thing in the sky? Mm-hmm. That's the one.
Oh, you mean not the blue one next to it?
No, elves? The big yellow one.
Okay. We just established that this is Tatooine. Binary sunsetting.
Did do a lot of elves? What is sort of like the what is a pilgrimage site for the sun? Where do you go?
A very tall mountain, because that's how you get closer to the sun, is you have to go up, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So you'd have to climb like a very tall mountain.
Okay. What is the name of this mountain?
It is called Mount Sunny Peak.
Okay. Mount Sunny Peak?
Yes.
And what makes the mountain so religious for the sun? Is it the
It's
highest
very
peak?
tall.
Is it the closest to the sky?
It's a very tall mountain, so yeah, it's the best way that they can get the closest to the sun.
The tallest mountain. Cool. So do elves live on Mount Sunny Peak? Is there like a religious cloister up there or something?
Most
Or
elves
is it
wouldn't
barren?
live on Mount Sunny Peak. There's
Oh,
probably
I wouldn't say most elves. I
there's
would say like is it a holy site? Like, do people maintain it, or is it sort of like a pilgrimage site that like you just go to like on a personal quest kind of thing, but nobody's
There's-
actually there?
There's probably like two or three little or two or three older elven priests
Yeah,
and
okay.
whatnot up
Okay,
there, just
so
to
there is a
people
sort
to
of
shelter
yeah.
the pilgrims and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cadre of elven priests. Cool. Okay. Awesome. So, do the elves guard Mount Sunny Peak as well? Like, or for documentation purposes and stuff, or is it not as guarded?
Mount Sunny Peak wouldn't really be guarded. The only people there are probably like three or four priests that are up there. The elves figure like they don't want the lesser races coming into the city because like it's a nice clean city. Like you don't want those fucking halflings dragging their dirty ass feet around your city. But like I mean, if they want to go and praise the sun, like they can go and praise the sun. Like
Okay. So you would
everyone should be able to go and praise the sun.
Okay.
Even the dirty fucking halflings.
So,
The face thing is making at me.
So elves really don't like halflings.
They don't like anyone, No, dwarves smell really bad. Humans are stupid, and halflings are dirty.
Okay.
That's how the elves silly. The lesser races.
What would you say Asa is doing? Like kind of like right now. Like what is her role?
She's being pretty racist.
That's true. But racism is not a career.
I don't know.
Have you met an elf before?
Asel is probably currently working at the very large Sun Temple in
Thenora?
In Thenora.
Okay, so you're working at a Sun Temple. Okay, so you're like an acolyte working around. Okay,
Yeah.
I can see that. Cool. Eric, and are we good? Carpe, do you want?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What do you have in store for us?
Everyone knows me as L'Angle Gathulian. I always play I know a story about the Mount Sunny Peak. There was a small group of halflings that traveled up to Mount Sunny Peak and thought that they could get back down on the west slope, but that's the entrance to Thenora, so they ended up having to go back up over Mount Sunny Peak, down the other side, and then around the mountain range. And it served the little bastards right.
Oh man, I'm sure they did not appreciate that at all.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, I am obviously a bard. I
Obviously.
tell all the stories. I know that all of the gods are really just the sun god, but all the other races have stupid names for it, because obviously it's just the sun.
So
And they still call it the sun.
what do you think of Kazan? What is Kazan?
Well, Kazan is the sun god. They just
Oh, okay.
they just came up with some extra name for him.
Okay, that's cool. So I have a couple questions for you as a bard.
Yeah.
So as a bard, you're going to be doing. You have like a couple special things about you, right? Like you have an instrument, right?
I have a lot of special things about
Yeah,
me.
that's true. So I want to know what your instrument is. Like what instrument you're thinking about.
Oh, well, I have a fiddle.
Ooh. Okay. So
I know a lot of really cool people who play the fiddle.
Is it a new
my
fiddle?
my sister-in-law actually plays the fiddle.
Is it a new fiddle, or is it like an old family heirloom?
It's not a family heirloom.
So it's new. Is this the fiddle you've had your
no.
whole life? Is basically what I'm asking. Or is it
No,
new?
I picked it up when the old one got broken.
So who broke your old one? How was your
I
old
don't
one
know.
destroyed?
I don't know. It was
about
sitting
that.
down next to my chair while I was telling a story, and someone took offense, and I was not paying enough attention, and it broke, so I had to go get a new one.
So
Oh, I bet it was a halfling.
Was this in Sun City?
Let's see. Sun City, no. Wasn't
Where
in
would
the
this be?
first and final forest. I think it was. I think it was in
You
a
can make any
tavern
place.
on my way south to learn some more stories about good old Kazam.
Okay, so you're going. So is it? It's like a roadhouse or like an inn.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the name of this inn?
The Fat Loot.
Obviously, it's Lute loot.
Yes. Yes.
So
I love
have
how
a-
my in
I
name
love
is
it.
starting to spread throughout the world now.
What about the Fat Loot? What has changed since the last time you were here?
Let's see. There's a baby brass dragon living under the stairs now, and there wasn't one last time I went through.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so there's a baby brass dragon. So the Fat Loot list sits somewhere between the first and final forest and the frozen north.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I had to pick up a second-hand fiddle because I didn't have enough money because I obviously couldn't play my fiddle.
Okay. And so you have a bardic lore as well, right?
I know lots of bardic lore.
Yeah. So I want to know what kind of what specific bardic lore are you choosing?
I know stories of all the different heroes, which gives me a little bit of tertiary knowledge about like the gods, because like I've heard the story of Kazan or Kazam or whatever his name is, and it wasn't that interesting, so I probably spiced it up a little and turned him into not a dwarf and added the whole smelly thing to him. So
Okay.
mainly legends of old heroes.
Okay, so the old legends and stuff. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cool. I like that. I can dig that a lot. Okay. So I think that looks like a good place where we would begin our story. Then would be the Fat Loot. So let's figure out some reasons why we would be there, and kind of figure out what we're gonna do today. So this is good like world building now. So why would I'm gonna ask Yumi this. Why would Asa be going to the Fat Loot?
Acel is probably on our way back to Thenora from an exorcism of some sort.
Oh, okay.
You know, there was some trouble off in wherever the fuck the Fat Loot is by, and she went down to take care of it.
So there's trouble around the frozen north.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some sort of like maybe power gathering or something. Okay.
Yeah, some shit like that. So she went and took care of that shit.
So the frozen north is basically like the Mordor of this world. Is what I'm.
Yeah.
What I'm getting.
One does not simply walk into the frozen north.
Yeah. Okay. I love how the frozen north is also south. Okay.
It's the
One
north
does not
side
question
of
the direction that the frozen north is in.
Actually, we probably hate people for naming it wrong because it should be the frozen south, but this is just reinforcement for how stupid all the other races are.
No, it makes perfect sense when you read it in the original Dwarven. It is described perfectly. Just human translation does not make sense.
Wait, hold on. Dwarves have a language?
I will destroy you.
Oh man. So okay. So you're returning from an exorcism, and I want to hear a little bit from Bjorn. Bjorn, why would you be staying at the Fat Loot?
Well, you see, Bjorn is always looking to have trial by combat and sacrifice for personal victory to Kazan. And he heard that there was dragon in the area, and then shows up, and it is tiny baby dragon, and everyone is saying it is good creature and not to be killed, and now he's drinking his troubles away at Fat Loot.
So I want to know. Yeah. So this kind of ties
It's
in.
psychologically disturbing. You must kill dragon.
So what? Yeah. So tell me more about this. Tell me more about this prophecy of you having to kill a dragon. Why do you have to kill a dragon?
He's holy dictate of Kazan. You must find monster and kill them. Everyone knows dragon is monster.
Oh, so you're not. Okay.
Now everyone is like, oh, it's like cat. He's so cute. No, in Dwarfland, in Undermountain, we eat cat. They are annoying and stupid and useless. We kill dragon. They are not annoying. They are terrible, horrifying, large creatures that kill many people. flaming acid breath. And they keep one under stairs. At some point, it will grow old enough to consume in fiery blaze. And then they will be like, oh, I wish we had Bjorn here.
So what? So your prophecy is that you must.
It's no prophecy. Stop saying prophecy.
Okay.
It's holy dictate. You have not read the 7 codes of Kazan, clearly.
No.
They are giant stone tablets.
Is one don't shower?
I was gonna say, is one of those 7 commands like thou must not take a shower?
I keep hearing all of this elven racism. They are trying to not only impugn upon my race, but also on my religion by saying Kazan is sun. No, everyone knows Great Dragon God is sun. Kazan is like tiny asteroid star in sky. It makes perfect sense in original Dwarven.
I fucking love it. So I want to. Okay, so everyone's kind of moving here from their travels. I want to hear a little bit more back from Chip. So
I got lost.
You got lost.
I got lost, and I happened to see myself a bit of a halfling.
Okay.
Trying to be sneaky, you know. He's being a sneaky halfling.
I want to hear from you, from as a druid. What troubles these lands?
It's all boring.
It's boring.
It's so banal and so simple. There's no excitement. You tell people, hey, I want to have a dish fight, and they look at you and they go, what's a dish fight? You have to explain what a dish fight is. It's draining on the soul.
Do you so how can these adventurers help in that in spicing up this boring
Adventurers, they're the ones who test the waters of fun, right? See, so there's a puddle of adventure, right? And the adventurers, they walk up and they go, oh, and they touch their little toe into the waters of the adventures, and they have a little bit of danger, a little bit of excitement. And all you have to do is push them in when they're not looking. Head first, no water wings.
Oh my god.
Okay. Push! Adventure.
Okay, so then, so you really want to? Okay, I get it now. So I want to hear from Rupert. And begin for adventuring.
I'm thinking I might re-roll. There's so much racism right now. Of just like.
Do not worry, friend.
I thought maybe there was some like diminutive kind of comrade in arms, but no, he's like fuck the halflings as well. So.
No, we
right, fine.
No, we are good together. You and me, Rupert, against the world.
Okay.
It's not halflings. That is like slave name from humans. Obviously,
So
we are not dwarves. We are called mountain folk. It's just a stupid name human give us because they think we are shorter than them.
Mm-hmm. Do you actually have do we have a human? Just I'm asking. No. Okay.
What is Langle?
Oh, he's an elf.
You're an elf as well. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Do you hail from Thenora or do you hail from somewhere else?
I hail from Thenora, but I pretty much go everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man.
Yeah, I've only actually been there for like 4 or 5 years, and then I was traveling.
So, what customs have changed for you since you travel now? Like, what makes you different than the elves at Thenora? Like, what have you picked up that makes you sort of like cosmopolitan or worldly?
Well, aside from a lot more stories than the much more racist bastards in Thenora, I'm a little less racist.
Okay. So less racist.
I'm willing to travel with halflings and dwarves and stuff, especially if there's a really good story there.
Okay, I can see that. So far then we're getting these things that there's some sort of like gathering threat from the frozen north. That sort of is happening. So Asa, you've returned from somewhere performing some sort of sacred rite nearby, some sort of exorcism. I want to hear more about that. So tell me a little bit. What were you? Who did you help? And what did you help them from? Like what force did you drive away?
I was actually called up by the kind people in the Fat Loot. They were like, "Yo, there's this little dragon that showed up, and she's super cute and shit. But
but it was possessed?
No, she wasn't possessed, but there was this like pile of dragon cultists.
Oh.
There was a pile of dragon cultists, and they were all like, "Oh, we're gonna steal that little baby cute dragon, turn her into an evil thing, and it's gonna be super bad." So they were like, "Yo, can you come and like kill this pile of dragon cultists?" So I came and I killed the pile of dragon cultists.
Oh. So okay, that's actually
They forsook the sun. They brought it on themselves. You saw it.
Oh no, I got this.
They walked into my mace. Okay.
It was justified. You castle doctrine. You're fine. Oh man. So okay, this gives me some ideas now. Rupert, I want to know something about you and your relationship with the dragon cultists. What did you steal from the dragon cultists?
I can't be divulging that. That would be telling now, wouldn't it?
What did you liberate from the dragon cultists?
He may have acquired a, let's just rip people off it, a large gem. A large sparkly gem, bigger than all the others, outshone the rest, that may have caught his eye. So, maybe said dragon cultists had this, we'll call it a dragon stone.
Yeah, the dragon stone?
And that's what they were going to use to corrupt this dragon.
Okay. Okay. So you have so you actually have their dragonstone.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
So that's why the dragon's still good, right? Because they weren't able to. Well, okay, whatever the tall, pointy-eared people were up to, whatever they were up to, yeah, that's fine. So Rupert loves everyone. Come on. He's just everyone hates halflings. It's like, oh. So yeah, basically, yeah, he's got the stone that they were going to use to be corrupting the dragon. He doesn't know what it is, other than it's big, shiny, and probably valuable.
Elf defense. Cool. So you have a dragon stone. Okay, and the dragon cultists want it. Okay, I'm definitely seeing that dragon cultists are going to be the thing that we're going to stop. Okay.
So and he's here in the end simply to make friends, drink ale, and acquire things.
Ooh, okay. Okay. No, I got this now. Ooh. Okay, cool. Well, it is 8:14. I think it's time for our first break, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna actually start playing some Dungeon World now. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be back in 5 minutes. All right.
So Zhang.
What?
Hello. I have a large shiny. I also have a gemstone.
I can smell the shiny. That joke.
I can smell you.
Thank you.